Arsenal gives ultimatum and we finally have Victor Osimhen's final answer. Will he come? And to top it off, we have updates on Zubimendi's transfer in January and an unusual event involving the possible arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo to the Emirates Stadium. How crazy! Watch until the end to grasp all the details. But before that, if you're also passionate about Arsenal, subscribe to the channel now and stay updated on everything happening behind the scenes of the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's get into today's news. Victor Osimhen has established himself as one of the most prolific centre-forwards in Europe in recent years. The Nigerian striker scored 26 goals in Serie A last season, helping Napoli secure their first league title in over 30 years. Osimhen's current contract with the Italian team only expires in 2026, leading to speculation that he could leave the club in the next 12 months. Arsenal and Chelsea are linked to a transfer for the 24-year-old player, as both London clubs seek to strengthen their attacking options. Osimhen's recent deal ensures his stay at Napoli until 2026, and includes a release clause of €130 million, highlighting the club's valuation of him as a valuable asset. Football London learned that the Blues wanted to sign Osimhen in the summer, but Napoli was determined to keep their top scorer, so Nicolas Jackson was signed from Villarreal. Discussing the possibility of Osimhen moving to the Emirates Stadium last month, transfer guru Fabrizio Romano told Court Offside, "I am aware that there have been reports linking Arsenal to Victor Osimhen, and this follows some media claiming that the Napoli striker's agent held talks with the Gunners about a year ago. We know that Arsenal and Chelsea are eyeing forwards for 2024, so it's normal to see these links. But it's important to reiterate that it's very difficult to consider these links for January, because Napoli insists they don't want to sell him in the middle of the season. For the summer, anything can happen, but it's not decided now for sure." Arsenal spent over £200 million in the summer transfer window, bringing in names like Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Jurrien Timber, and David Raya. The Gunners will need to sell before they can buy players in January to comply with financial fair play (FFP) regulations, but that hasn't stopped them from considering a move for Osimhen. While Arsenal continues its title challenge in the Premier League this season, many experts and fans have urged Arteta to seek a new striker to replace Gabriel Jesus and Edin Nketiah. Either of the players would bring in a significant amount of money if sold, while also freeing up a substantial amount of funds in the wage bill. Now let's move on to an unusual scene involving Arsenal and the multi-champion star Cristiano Ronaldo at a boxing event that took place in Saudi Arabia. Ronaldo was among the various big names present at the Day of Reckoning boxing event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and at one point, he was seated alongside Frank Warren, the founder of Queensberry Promotions. In a video shared on X by the official promotion handle, Warren is seen pointing at Ronaldo and saying, "He's signing for Arsenal."
Signing for Arsenal.
The former Manchester United and Real Madrid star didn't say anything but can be seen laughing at it. Theo Walcott says Arsenal transfer target is similar to Giroud in Arteta warning. Former Arsenal star Theo Walcott has now fired Mikel Arteta a warning over a potential pursuit for Ivan Toney. Toney has been strongly linked with a move to the Emirates in the January transfer window, as Arsenal weigh up a move for a striker to add more goals to their squad, but it remains to be seen whether a deal would be financially viable. Speaking on Sky Sports after Arsenal's draw with Liverpool, Walcott compared Toney to his former teammate Olivier Giroud, but also hinted that the striker's lack of action in recent months may mean he comes with a risk. "I just feel like Mikel Arteta will deep down know what he needs, but we don't want to dwell on it," Walcott stated. "I would be cautious of because he hasn't played. He's a forward that is similar to Olivier Giroud, which Arsenal used to have, which I was a big fan of." Toney has not played since last season, as he served a ban from football, which is set to end in January. Is Ivan Toney similar to Olivier Giroud? Giroud was a solid striker for Arsenal between 2012 and 2018, scoring 105 times in 253 appearances, whilst also providing 41 assists and winning 3 FA Cups. The Frenchman was also useful for his aerial ability and his tendency to hold up the ball and link play with his teammates. Whilst Toney is shorter than the former Arsenal striker, standing at 1.85 m compared to Giroud's 1.92 m, He ranks highly amongst his peers for aerial duels, and often terrorizes opposition defenders in the air. There are certainly similarities between the two players, but Walcott's warning about Toney's lack of action is a key point. Having not played for a significant period, it could take the striker some time to adapt to Mikel Arteta's system. And David Raya has shown that the step up from Brentford to Arsenal is not an easy one. Given the potential finances involved in a January deal, and the risk that Toney would not hit the ground running, it might be a deal best avoided for Arteta in the winter window. Arsenal could complete transfer of acclaimed Spanish star, touted as Rodri's successor, in January. Arsenal remains interested in Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi, although a January transfer continues to be unlikely at this stage. As reported last month, Football.London understands that the Spaniard is one of the few options being considered as Arsenal looks to address the long-term future of its defensive midfield position. Declan Rice was signed in the summer for a club record fee of £105 million and has impressed in his early months at the club. However, beyond him, Mohamed Elneny, Jorginho, and Thomas Partey are all over 30 and could move on soon. Elneny's contract will expire in the summer. While he has expressed the desire to stay and finish his career at Arsenal, extension negotiations have not yet begun. The same goes for Jorginho, whose current contract expires at the end of this season. Arsenal holds the option to extend the Italian's contract for another 12 months, and the club is expected to address the issue after the January transfer window. Meanwhile, Partey will have only 18 months left on his contract next month. Arsenal was open to selling the 30-year-old player early in the summer, but when suitable offers did not materialize, the decision was made to keep him. The Ghanaian international has struggled with an injury this season, and negotiations have not been opened for new terms. With this in mind, Arsenal has started thinking about the long-term future of the position. Zubimendi is one of several options they are exploring. The Gunners' list also includes Douglas Luiz. However, a deal for Zubimendi seems challenging in January. The Spanish international has a release clause of £53 million, but has not expressed a desire to leave Real Sociedad. The progression of Churierd into the Champions League round of the 16th of May will have hardened that stance. Arsenal would also need to fend off competition from several other rival suitors, including Barcelona. Arsenal are one of a number of Premier League teams keeping an eye on Juventus winger Federico Chiesa. The Italian website report that the Gunners, Tottenham, Liverpool and Newcastle are all weighing up a move for the forward, who is closing in on the final 18 months of his contract with his current club. It is believed Juventus are desperate not to lose Chiesa on a free transfer, so meetings are expected to be held with the player and his representatives over signing an extension to his current deal. Even if the 26-year-old does put pen to paper on another contract, though, it doesn't mean he will be staying at the Allianz Arena. Tutto Juve claimed that the Bianconeri may only look to extend his stay until 2026 in order to protect his value. Chiesa is reportedly prepared to evaluate offers from other teams, and Juve may also be amenable to a potential transfer at the end of the season as long as a club can match their rather high valuation. The Serie A side are thought to be holding out for around €80 million, £69.4 million, for Chiesa, which would be a substantial outlay for a club like Arsenal. Arsenal need to strengthen their options out wide. The Gunners do lack depth in wide positions. Manager Mikel Arteta does have the likes of Leandro Trossard and Reece Nelson to call upon if he so wishes, but he invariably picks Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli to start, especially in the most important fixtures. If a player of Chiesa's quality were to make the move to the Emirates next summer, it would certainly provide more competition for places and allow Arteta to rotate his squad more often than he does at the moment. Well, folks, those were today's news. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay informed about everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell so you won't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and see you in the next video.